All right. We is live. Good afternoon, Gaines Day. Back to back. Yeah. Luckily. Luckily things worked out. I'm a bit tired because you know, have a toddler. Even though I do get decent breaks, it's just hard to get sleep, because then it's like you're used to him being with you, then he's not with you, and all that. It's just you just never really get back to like how you were pre having a child. You know, at least I'm not. Maybe other people have figured out the the formula. I haven't. I'm still working through it. And then last night, I was finished off with saying I was going to play the flight simulator. I go to my computer. I fucked around and broke the whole goddamn computer and pretty much had to like just reinstall everything. That was a pain in the fucking ass. So I just got most of the shit back up and running today. But yeah, what's up, Grave Rave? What's up, man? Hope you're doing all right. Hope whatever time it is, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope everybody's doing well. But yeah. I was just I was just on Facebook right before I opened this, and motherfuckers are talking about, and I feel dumb even talking about this shit, right? Justin Timberlake got a DUI. Like, why the fuck do people care? Or like he was got some kind of way he drunk, he got fucked up and started driving, right? Like this is why, like, social media is fucking wild, man. Like, why the fuck do grown ass people care what Justin Timberlake did? Like, and it's like all up and down the Facebook shit, right? Like, guess what he did? Guess what he said to the cop that came and arrested him? He said he was gonna be in trouble, and he didn't even know who he was. Like, motherfuckers, like really. Like, why? Like, are people really that seriously bored with their own life that that some shit like that would be of any importance, right? Like, I'm so out the loop. Here's the thing, I'm so out the loop, right? Main reason why I do get on Facebook is so I can go on, so I can see the Prague Facebook group, just to keep up with news through social media on the Prague face, because I don't have Check TV, which I've been meaning to get Check TV, just never got it. So I just use Facebook to keep up with the news, right? So they post it. So like in the city, they'll always block off like a street or two for like something, right? And they said they were gonna block off a street like this week or next week for like pretty much some gay pride shit, right? Some shit like that. And I wrote, thanks for the warning. Now I know not to go down there. Nothing. And I said, it's nothing against the culture. I just don't want streets blocked off where I gotta, be cramped walking through where y'all walk through the middle of the street, right? And I guess this gay dude got mad at me, and like he really worked at trying to make me sound like I was homophobic, like I was against the rally, right? And it was like just this ridiculous exchange between me and him. But he finally admitted, like, oh yeah, it's clear you're not a homophobe, like, that type of shit. But it's just like this social media, man. It's just like, I think people are just at such a loss of identity that they have to like social media really becomes like a person's identity. I think people are just so desperate to find some type of purpose within themselves in the world that like social media just ends up like that huge just outlet for just like a lot of just worthlessness. Right. Some stuff can be knowledgeable. Like, I hope my channel is giving off some, at least just some awareness at minimum of dingbats, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of my channel, is to dive into dingbat shit and explore it and maintain it and make it clear just how dumb motherfuckers can be, right? And not even and not even know it, right? They genuinely think that you mean I'm not saying everybody's gonna say some dumb shit from time to time or do something stupid. But like for me, it's like when motherfuckers really are trying to have like a legit argument or something like that's when I just get I get just completely riled up and just like blind at that point. Can you do Thursday's live stream request? Probably not, because I'm only like what 10 minutes and 15 minutes into this video. Who knows? Maybe if this video kind of dies out, I'll go to it. Cause I'm not gonna be on too late tonight because I'm still fixing my computer from last night when I fucked it up. I'm getting this one game right now and I gotta install a bunch of mods on it. Honestly, I hate social media. I only use Twitter for following the news. Yeah, that's really all I use. I use social media mostly. Let me get this computer real fast. I use social media mostly for following the news, looking at comedy shit. Every now and then, like for some reason, like a sexy bitch will pop up. I don't really follow a lot of sexy bitches on like Instagram or something like that. But usually it's just like listen, like watching like Michael Jackson or something like that. Right, when he was like younger, dancing and shit like that, shit like that. I don't care. Like I have no care for what Kim Kardashian said, what dress she wore, and all that old silly shit. They ain't nothing but a waste. It's less than a waste of time. It's worthless because there's there's no worth to even wasting time on that. Hang on, let me read this real fast. Okay. There we go. I'm trying to figure this thing out. This one mod. This is always a pain in the ass mod to figure out. And I want to have it ready by the time I finish live streaming so I can just hop over here and get my flight sim fix for the week. Oof, it's gonna be pretty. So I know I got to get this scene. It's a flight sim. I know I got to get this scene. So scenery and flight sims, you got to get scenery. So like the there it is right there, global scenery. I just seen it. So the world will look a whole lot better, which I really don't care. But hang on. Let me read this real fast. Install. Okay, so maybe it's this one. This is really confusing. I'm gonna have to do this later because I don't even understand this. This is really confusing. Oof. Wait, what's this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do this later because that got way too complicated, way too fast. So yeah. What's up, Mo? Yo, AD, you have ignored the recent message with the YouTube short that I've sent you yesterday to share with your viewers. Well, I don't even know how to find it. I'd be bold to be honest with you. You have ignored the recent message with the YouTube short. Let me see. Okay, I can probably figure it out. There's a message on a YouTube short. I don't even know how to find my own shorts. So, yeah. You gotta hit us off. You gotta spit something. All right. That was some Eminem shit popping up. I just hit shorts and Eminem was the first thing that came up. You know how we get down. It's on you, my baby. All right. I don't even know how to find my own shorts, man. Oh wait, maybe it's in comments. I don't see anything, Ivy, but I don't even know how to work this shit, man. So it was definitely not intentional. I barely know how to work. I just can't keep up with all these social medias, and it's just too much for me, man. Like I just don't have it. I can't keep up with it, and two, I honestly just don't have like the interest of keeping up with like all these different outlets of communication, and I'm just not good at it. I'm just not good at it, man. So it was definitely nothing personal. I'm just not good with it. I tried for a little while, and it just drove me absolutely crazy. I really did try for a while, like to respond to every like comment and everything, and it just drove me crazy. I just couldn't do it. And on top of that, I got a kid now, and doing all this, and like it's just, it's just too much for me, man. On WA, okay, I don't know what WA means. Grave Rave says, I hear people talk about hookup culture being bad for women. I'm like, well, if you keep getting with the top 10% of guys who have a lot of options, sure, most guys can't engage in hookup culture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, like, see, women are so ridiculous. Like, they can own, like, they don't see it like that. Like, if a guy is like, okay, let's say, like, okay, so I'm going to compare the two. Like, for a woman, when she looks for like a quality suitor of a man in any kind of way, usually her quality suitor is whatever she thinks other women are going to want. Woman's biggest problems in life are other women, right? So even when it comes to whatever spouse that she's going to want or whatever spouse that she's going to pick, the majority of that decision relies on what will her friends think of the spouse, not really herself so much, but it's more what will everybody else think if they see me with this person and what they got or what they did and all that, right? So with that being said, women will finally start to hone in on one guy or like one small group of guys, right? They'll eventually hone in on like one to try to like they'll do their own mathematical equations for popularity and figure out like, okay, like this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and they'll hone in on one group, right? Just like high school, it's the same thing. Like, I think these guys have, or some guy's channel had mentioned it. It's just high school all over again, thanks to online dating. It's all it is, right? Now, on the flip side, men are forced to grow up and grow out of that a lot quicker for many reasons, right? But the thing is, like, if a man sees a woman who's a 4, right, that 4 can easily become hookup material just because he's just horny and lonely or whatever the fuck, right? Whereas a woman on the flip side, it's not really gonna work that easily for her, right? Because inherently women know that they're not very valuable. Like they know that they're the misery of the earth. Like deep down, like every woman, like for real, knows it, right? So that's why most women the majority of women are extremely caught up in either getting in a drama or imagining what they would do if they were in the drama, and like that is their happiness in life, is to be wanted and desired, because every woman knows essentially by themselves alone they're nothing. There's nothing interesting about them. They're miserable. They're always, no matter like every woman's destiny is to become more miserable. That's when she becomes happy. Right? She has to chase the bigger, better man, or show off her man to another woman while they all start chasing another man, and all like that. A woman is literally happy. A miserable woman is a happy woman, and a happy woman is a miserable woman. Right? So back to the hookup culture thing. The hookup culture, it doesn't really work the same. Like the potentials, it doesn't really work the same way. Cause like motherfuckers are roast Precious, but if a dude just gets too horny for too long, he gonna start fucking Precious, right? Where on the flip side, like Ivanka Trump, she's always gonna have something to say about fucking Randy from fucking, the forklift driver, right? She always gonna be like deeply ashamed of doing that, right? If she ever will do it. But the Melania Trump, she always Mm-mm. But yeah, so I think where we left off with this video was her name Diaz. Diaz, yeah, the 40-year-old woman thinking she gonna find a prince at the grocery store with her game plan of going in there with her workout equipment and her tagline of selling vitamins. Like, could you just imagine? Could you imagine like how funny would that be? Like, I would dare her to say this shit out loud, right? To meet a dude she really likes, and he asks her what she does for women for a living, and she'd be like, "I sell vitamins," and just keep a straight face. That shit would be. She couldn't even say that with a straight face, dude. Like, you know, she can't even. She couldn't even say it because she knows it's bullshit, one way or another, right? Now we left off with the Diaz. That's her name. Now what's coming up next? Because I looked at the title of the section. Maria's ex-husband. So Maria was married. The one on the bottom left, the 29-year-old. That said was the equivalent of a 5-year-old Hyundai Elantra. Right, it was about a 2019 Hyundai Elantra. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause she is fat. She's gaining the weight, and she's probably gonna be big as a house in 5 years. But I would still give her that. I'd give her a 2019 Hyundai Elantra. Or for those of y'all in Europe, I would give her like a 2015. No, yeah, I said like a 2015 Skoda. But I mean, Skoda's not a bad car, right? I mean, if you got extra money in your pocket, it's not going to be your first choice, but it's not a bad car, right? I would happily get in a 2019 Honda Elantra and drive from Cincinnati to Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to get in that Honda Elantra and every time I pull over, be like, yeah, you see this Honda Elantra? This is hot shit, yeah. I'm not walking around bragging about driving a Honda Elantra, but I'm going to be, I know I'm going to have a comfortable ride. It's going to be a stable car, whatever, right? And that's the position that Maria's in. She's a clean looking woman who's still youthful and has some hope for the future. Now, like I said, Diaz on the other hand, the one on the bottom right, she's a 2010 Mustang. She's a little too old. She's a little too old to be. Uh, uh. She's at the point now. Okay, like a 2010 Mustang, right? In the year 2024, is the same thing. Like, okay, Diaz, or what's the name? Yeah, Diaz is in the position of the car where men who grew up when that car was hot, right? When a man grew up in 2010 when that car was hot, right? And he couldn't afford the car, right? But he knew that car was getting around and drag race and all that. And see, now he's 40 and that 2010 is 15, 20 years older. That 40-year-old man, no, unless he just liked that car model for some reason, something special was about it, he knows that's a bad deal to go out there and buy that type of sports car at 40, because he knows that sports car has been ran down and ran through. That's the exact position that Diaz is in. She's that older car. I mean, there's a whole lot of buyers when she was new, when she was young and hot. You know what I mean, 15 years ago when she just came out, motherfuckers was probably lined up around the pool hall trying to holler at her, right? But not anymore. I mean, it's always gonna be some dude, chasing out, jumping out the window for her, but it's not gonna be like it used to be. Those times are long gone. And here's the other sad part about Diaz, right? Is like, I mean, she's a good looking girl, but she's not like. I can look at her right now, like, as I can see, you probably can't see it because YouTube's like compressed. But okay, like, even given that this is probably just a bad pose and all that, I can still look at her and tell, like, see, part of Diaz's anger was that, and I touched on this a long time ago. Part of Diaz's anger was that while she was cute, she was never like hot cute. She was like kind of memorable. She was at worst like kind of memorable. But her best, she could go to another part of town and be the girl, right? And I talked about this a long time ago, like why sevens and eights are usually have worse attitudes, like to speak within one-on-one scenarios, is because they're usually far more confused women. So like, and Diaz fits this realm. She fits that, I'd say 7 to like lower 8 realm, right? Of Diaz can go to like a suburb in Ohio and be the girl everybody's like kind of looking out for and heard about, right? Everybody kind of crooking their neck to get a look at her and all that shit, trying to get her name, and motherfuckers knew to go to the pool party because they knew she was gonna be there, type of shit. Out in suburban Ohio, they doing that, right? But you go to like downtown Cincinnati and Diaz fucks around and walks in the wrong club, motherfuckers won't even remember her. At best, they'll be like, I think there's a skinny bitch that might be worth my time over there somewhere. So maybe, I don't know. And see, that's why Diaz would have them violent temper tantrums. That's where them temper tantrums would always come from. That's why, that's why those women always have them wild temper tantrums. That's why. And see, and that's why them beautiful women, they don't get temper tantrums until they get like older, where they like thoroughly just can't keep up, kind of thing. But that's why like them beautiful women, you don't see them with temper tantrums like that. They usually calm and relaxed and pretty ditzy and dumb, right? And just spaced out. I mean, because because they know something already happened, right? But see, Diaz is in a position where she'll fuck around and be forgotten, and she probably has been forgotten. Right, and that's where the mood swings. I just got mood swings. That's where all that shit comes from with her. We're gonna start with Maria. Here we go.
Together alone, and you're telling me to not say a certain thing, to watch my language, to not. Okay, I want to talk. I'm a much more polished. I'm gonna dress nice, and I'm gonna.
So. You mentioned at the kickoff that you were struggling with guys a bit.
Yeah.
So what's your story?
So here we go
you were
with Maria
married
now.
At one time, you're divorced now.
I was married. I married really young, so my ex-husband was same abusive and things. He like complains about me not being scared of him because every time he hit me, I hit him back. So he used to get mad about it. Then I got divorced 4 years ago, and I thought it's going to be super easy to find a guy because, like, I rushed it. I rushed my marriage because back home, everybody gets married really young, and they start having kids. So I kind of put me in, like, in a competition of, like, okay, I'm next. But obviously, I ignored all the red flags of my ex-husband. So after I got divorced, I was like, okay, now I can find a right guy. And I just find that extra complicated. Like, I don't know. I feel like in Florida, since everybody come here to vacation and party, like you only find 2 types of guys, like the guys who wants to fuck and the guys who are crazy and they are obsessed, So it's just like really weird. It's weird to date here. Also, like I don't go out much because I work all day.
And, what do you do for a living?
I work with kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that, like I work with kids, so I'm always with kids. Then I use the dating apps, and I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird. Like, I feel like guys lately don't have more of, like, a lot of emotional responsibility, and they just, like, ghost, or they don't, like, it's weird to date now. I hate it.
Well, yeah, it's weird because she done gained all that weight. I was in Jacksonville, which ain't shit, and Jacksonville, okay, like the women are walking around there was okay. She wouldn't make it around the women I was around it when I was in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville again isn't shit, right? Jacksonville is a ghost town, dude. And she would have a hard. I could tell by her shoulders in this video. she ain't gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it. She gonna have for the type of dudes that she's gonna want. She ain't gonna make it. That's gonna be hard. And coincidentally, it always gets harder when they start getting older. See, where are all these younger girls talking about it's hard? Where are all these girls between 18 and 25 talking about something? It's so hard to date. It's so hard to find. It's so hard to find somebody, right? It all starts coming out. The closer they get to 30, it's real hard out here. Oh my God. The world just changed. It's not me. It's the world. The world just changed. I was perfectly fine the whole time. What's up, Javi?
What do you mean by emotional responsibility?
Like, like they don't tell you how they feel, or like if they don't like you or whatever, they just like ghost you.
See, yeah. With that being said right there, remember I said like everything flips like as a man, as we get older, especially if you're a man who can get up and like do something, like all of it flips, dude. Like, see, like when she was 20, all the guys were saying, well, why does she just ghosted me? She doesn't tell me how she feels, right? But then as we age, it all flips. And the woman's sitting around wondering, well, how come they ghosting me? They never tell me how they feel. Right? It's just how, and I'm not making fun of her. It's just the reality of dating, right? And I'll be telling my girl, like, look. I tell her, I say, look, see, everything you going through now, I went through that when I was 20. When I was 20, I was the one sitting up wondering why the woman wasn't writing me back and all this, like, well, does she even like me and all? See, I was doing all that. But now, see, we're older, and now it's flipped. Now she's the one sitting up, making things worse by panicking, and I'm the one sitting up just going like, oh my God, just chill the fuck out, right? And the thing, like, and what sucks the most is because women genuinely can't see it because they were used to just being born into that role. A woman is used to being born in to the world with $1 million in her pocket. So trying to explain to her, like, well, when you had $1 million, I had like $5 in my wallet. Like, she doesn't even know how to take that in and digest that, right? She just doesn't even know. She's in full panic mode, right? When a woman enters the world, after puberty hits, a woman is walking around with $1 million in her back pocket, and guys are walking around with like $15 and some lint and a Tootsie Roll that was already open and got lint on it. That's what we walk. And so when we hit puberty, we've been used to walking around with $15 and a lint covered Tootsie Roll for like 15 years. And we had to make that shit work, right? Because we was used to that. Whereas on the flip side, see, a woman was born in with $1 million, no real limits. There's no, everybody's always gonna let a woman in just because she is a woman, right? A woman has no concept of limits on Earth, right? Because she always has the option to just start sucking dick, or just sit down at a party and just start giggling, and get her some free food like that, right? So by the time she starts to get older, right, and that $1 million done fucked around, and in reality of how thirsty men are in the world, that $1 million done dwindled down to about $80,000, right? That's the end of the world for a woman. To put in it'd be like Donald Trump going from being Donald Trump to only having $80,000 in his bank account. Donald Trump would kill himself. Right? He would be like, it's over. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm ruined. I only have $80,000 left. That's what that's what bitches are in the dating market. If you mean Maria and Diaz, they down to about 80,000 $80,000 in they bank account, and to them that's oppression. That's horrible. That's torture, right? Right? Because to them that's nothing, right? But to men, see, the worst woman can still run laps around a decent dude just because she can sell pussy in one way or another, right? One way or another, she can still sell pussy. Both of these women right now can go out there and sell pussy right now. Both of these women's biggest enemies are themselves and comparing themselves with other women. Both of these women's biggest enemy is themselves in any of this, and trying to compare, like I said, and comparing themselves with other women around them. That's what they fighting for real. It's not the men. It's them. It's them in that high school mentality, social status bullshit, right? But Maria, all of a sudden it gets harder when she start hitting 30, and it's the way. It wasn't her. It's the world. The world turned evil. It just poof, evil now.
You know, and I think that's not having emotional responsibility to other people, you know?
Isn't that kind of the way that dating apps sort of work, though?
What is that?
Isn't that kind of the way that dating apps sort of work? Like, you're not interested, you just don't, proceed, you don't respond, you sort of ghost them. It's kind of standard.
I mean, if you start talking to a guy, I get it. If you're not interested, just unmatch him and whatever, right? But if you go on a date and everything seems fine, and they just ghost you out of nowhere,
Because you came in there looking like Michelin Man. That's what happened. Because I bet them pictures ain't. I bet she didn't put full body pics on that Tinder profile or Bumble or wherever. Look, I got a female friend right now who's fat, right? But she's cool. I mentioned her a while back, and she tells me she's fat. Like, she knows she's fat. And okay, in America she's big, but in Europe she's fat, right? She's not like fat like disgustingly obese, but she's big, like she's not like disgustingly like blubberly fat kind of thing, but she's definitely big, right? One of them. And she got with this dude who flew her to New York, not New York City, but like somewhere near New York, right? And because she had met him before, he had flown her out before. Fat bitch, flown her out, and the last time he flew her out, she called me because she was mad, right? And she goes, "Wendell, he didn't even take me out anywhere. We just stayed I just stayed in his apartment." I said, "Yeah, because you showed up coming from Europe, being fat." She goes, "Oh, well, no, he knows I'm fat." Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Yeah, he knows, but it's like, look, you can't keep showing up being fat. Like, that is just, look, there has been very rare occurrences throughout human history where a man and or society would look at a fat bitch and be like, yeah." Like, it's happened, but it usually doesn't happen for too long or too big of populations. Usually populations will kill that shit. The bigger populations get, right? It's that, wait, she went there and showed up on that date looking like she was one McChicken away from breaking a weight scale, and the dude seen her and was trying to look at her and make it work and be nice to her, and just figure, yeah, I can't work with this. Like, and she's on, and she was 28, 29 on top of that, and that fat. Dude, she's gonna be big as a house in 5 years. Anybody with common sense can see that. It doesn't take a rocket. You don't gotta have a degree in biotechnology to see that. Or okay. To be fair, maybe the angle is just bad on the call. Maybe the angle is just, maybe she might stand up and she has a good looking bite. Maybe. But what I'm seeing right now, I think it's the weight. I think it's the weight.
No, I think that's so fucked up.
Have you ever ghosted a guy that you went on a date with?
I did before. I tried not to do it. And it's obviously it's weird, and it's kind of like put you in a weird position to tell them like, hey, I'm not interested. But I would rather say that instead of like feeling how I feel every time a guy ghosts me, because it makes you feel it's you. When it's not, you're not a problem. Like I feel like guys.
But it is you if they ghost you.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I mean, it's kind of understood. Like if you go out
Just
on a
like
date,
it's the guy if you ghost him.
Yeah, like if you go out on a date and then, you say to him, hey, I had an awesome time last night, love to see you again.
Yeah.
And he doesn't respond to you. He's basically saying, I'm not interested.
Thanks,
and
but
there's
no
something
thanks.
wrong with you. Like,
Yeah. And this is something else I want to elaborate on. With the, if you get ghosted, it's you, right? Now, for a woman, this is another situation that doesn't work the same way for men and women, right? Now, if a woman ghosts a man, right, I would say that she didn't, okay, let's say like if you were to get ghosted as a man, she did not ghost you as a person, right? Because usually by the time a woman ghosts a man, it's usually because of something that had nothing to do with his actual character, nothing to do with, intelligence. It was usually over something silly that he, something that was really trivial, right? Whereas, okay, when a woman shows up on a date, 70% of any interest that's going to happen immediately is going to be because of what the woman looks like, right? Right. How many times you think Melania Trump got ghosted when she was in her heyday? How many times you think Kim Kardashian got ghosted in her heyday? Right? How many times you think these beautiful women got ghosted in their heyday? Right? Fat women get ghosted. Fat women are don't be taken out on dates. Fat women are hidden somewhere. Right? Beautiful women are elaborated on. Prettier women are elaborated on. Right? Unless she's crazy or something like that, right? Now on the flip side, when a guy shows up for a date, a guy is offering a personality, a character, and on top of that, looks and all that too. But a man offers all that. What gets a woman through, especially on the first date, right, is what she looks like, and can she just feel like she's, approachable to talk to? Because after that, the more talking she actually does, the worse it's going to get. Okay? For the vast majority of women, the more she has to talk, right, the worse the date's going to go. And most women know it. So when a woman shows up on a date, her best option, her best weapon is to sit there and look good. Right? And if she got ghosted for that, then there's a good chance that nothing else probably really stood much of a chance. Right? It's pretty clear at that point. Whereas, like, you got a situation like Patrice O'Neal, where he flat out said, like, I wouldn't fuck a dude like me, right? But he could go out there and get some pussy, right? Because he had the character and the personality and the swagger and the confidence to do it. A man could sell other ways, whereas a woman can pretty much only sell one way, right? Like, Donald Trump did not get with Melania because she was just so fucking smart, right? You mean, like, he didn't get with Melania because she was so fucking awesome of a person. He got with Melania because she looked good. And all that other shit filtered in after that.
Like, would you rather him be more specific and say something like, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too whatever?
No, but I would like an explanation. Like,
Why?
I mean,
why is that important?
I don't want an explanation.
For me, I think it's important. Like, to know, like, if we're talking like every single day and out of nowhere you don't reply, like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
What if there was something that would hurt your feelings? Would you rather?
I would rather know Like, I would rather to know, like, if I did something, or it's something that I do, or something on my personality or whatever, so I can work on that, you know, in like future relationship. But like, if they ghost you out of nowhere, it's just like, what I
Are
did.
they ghosting you like a month, two in, or is it like a date or two in?
Like, so it depends on the guy, you know, like, it's just like, I don't know, like sometimes it's like after like second, third date, and that's it, you know? And I'm the one who say like, why we're not talking? Like, you don't want to talk? Why? You know? And I make them tell me, you know, like what's going on.
It's one of those things that I would recommend you sort of get to the point where you text them, they don't respond. Okay, I'll go on to the next one.
No, like, and normally that's what I do. Like, I text them once, I like, they don't reply or whatever, that's it. I get it, you know? And I move on. I don't get like attached. But at the same time, it's like annoying not knowing what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Does it make sense?
What kind of guys are you typically going for, Maria? What's like your average guy that you'll go out with? Like kind of your type?
I like white boys. Is that what you meant? Like,
just in general. Like, I mean, who's the average? Like, if you're going on dates with guys, like, who are you typically going out with?
White guys, my type.
There's got to be more than that. I mean, there's a lot of white guys in Tampa. Give me some more.
White guys, like, just like more details.
Yeah, I mean, like, they just have to be white. That's the only criteria you have.
So he can be 5'1" and be a Walmart greeter. Like, is that good enough for you?
Homeless.
Homeless.
I mean, after I got divorced, I realized that I become super picky of the kind of guy that I want next to me, right? Yeah. Okay. So for me, there's like a lot of things that I need to be with that person, right?
Like what? So what's the list?
So I like a guy who's responsible, right? Like that I know because I need him economically or anything because I'm very independent. But I want to see a guy that if I need him at some point, like I can rely on him. Or like a guy who has like a good job, like better job than me. I don't like to feel like superior than a guy that I made more money than a guy.
So what's the line in the sand? Does he have to make 75,000, 100,000, 150,000?
I don't know. Like, I mean, it's not that important, but I mean, it is. But
no, it is important.
I mean, yes. I don't know about numbers, but I know I will not date a guy who is a server.
See, here's the thing. Here's the other part. See, she's gonna do this whole thing. Okay, whenever you ask a woman these questions, her reply is tailored to try to not make her sound like the gold digger prostitute that she is. So she's got to come up with any way to soften the blow to say, well, I mean, I just kind of like you guy who has like a drive and blah, blah, blah. No, she wants a dude who has the ability to take care of her. Okay, that's it. Now, guys can usually come off this shit and be like, look, I just want a bitch that just looks halfway decent and just knows how to shut the fuck up from time to time. You know what I mean? And maybe cook some food. If she don't know how to cook, that's cool. Maybe we just order out because the cook is not important to me, right? Guys will usually get off it. Most guys just want a bitch that just looks decent, right? And can act decent and just shut the fuck up sometimes. That's it. Just shut the fuck up. Shutting the fuck. Here's the thing. Knowing how to shut the fuck up as you get older becomes more of a priority when it comes to dating women or what women you could even stomach to be around, right? Shutting the fuck up in the context of only saying shit that is important or relevant to the situation, that has nothing to do with emotions, right? Standards get higher after losing value. Can't make this up. Yeah. Yeah. In her heyday, she didn't explain shit to anyone. Oh, yeah. No, of course not. Yeah, definitely not, Nick. Yeah. In her heyday, she ain't had no time. She ain't remember your name or nothing. I mean, she ain't had no time to text your boy AD back. She be gone. And I'd be sitting there waiting for a text. Hey, she gonna text me back? Oh, well, she didn't say anything. I like to work on myself. And this bitch is off gagging on some other dick. Right? But it all flips. It all turns.
for example. Nothing, I was a server, right?
Right.
But for me, that is like you don't wanting to do more in your life.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
That's how I see it.
there's servers and waiters at restaurants that clear 6 figures annually.
No, I know. But
And the waiters at Burns, they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money. Yeah, but I feel like and I was a server and I used to make a lot of money, but it's always like, it's just like, for me, it's like, it's just easy money, like, that's how I see it. I mean, if I find a guy who's just a server, and I like him, I will date him, But
what about height, Maria? Does he have to be a certain height for
they
you?
have to be tall because I'm short, like at least 5'10".
5'10",
Yeah.
and-
That's not bad.
How tall are you?
5'3".
5'10" is quite a bit taller
5'3" and 250.
than 5'10".
But no, she's probably about 200. About 200.
It's extremely tall in
Yeah,
comparison.
taller than
5'10", and because
So 5'8", 5'9" won't cut it?
5'9".
Do you
yeah,
think?
I mean,
Do you think you'd really be able to tell the difference between a guy who's 5'8" and 5'10"? Or would just the fact that he's taller than you be enough?
taller than me.
All right.
Yeah.
I
There we
mean,
go.
5'7", it's still taller than me, but it's still short.
taller
Yes.
than you with heels on. How about that?
Right.
Exactly. Like, I
That's
don't
what
want,
it
yeah,
is.
exactly. Taller
Next
than me
time,
with heels.
next time you measure yourself with heels, and then add 2 inches to that, and that's your new height.
Yeah.
There
So yeah, that's that. And also, like, I'm very OCD about having my place clean. So if I see a guy who's not clean, it's just like a turn off. Like, I don't want to babysit a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So if he's like making $1 million a year, drives a nice car, has lots of interesting things going on, but he doesn't put things back, that's not good enough for you?
Yeah, like, if you're dirty, like, no.
Why don't you just clean it up for him?
Because I'm not a maid. I will clean my mess.
Dude's
I
making
clean
$1
my
million
things.
a year. He's 6 foot tall, drives really nice cars, has got a boat, has a really nice social network.
He can
You
put
can't-
Hey, Maria,
You
someone.
can you
can't.
take
She's done. She's done. Both of them are done for different reasons, but they're the equivalent of fucked up. Both of if you were to take, like, they could fuck around and form Captain Planet if you took, like, the best from both sides of them. Probably not even Captain Planet. Like, did Captain Planet have a sidekick? Like, they could fuck around and form Robin if they put, like, the best of both of them two together, right? Like, Diaz kept her body weight down, you know what I mean? And this one is getting fatter. I mean, if they could, but she's younger. So if they, like, if they got their power rings, be like, hey, I'm skinny. Hey, I'm young. Hey, I actually got a real job. Hey, I know how to cook. So with our powers combined, we are a decent functioning woman. You know what I mean? And then be Captain. Captain. What nickname can I make up for that? Captain. I can't say Captain Planet. They can form that shit. They all just put their rings together. and then get this. After they put their rings together and then that one bitch pop out, all them other bitches gonna hate Captain Planet. They gonna be like, they gonna hate her and never bring her out again. They go join together and form Dua Lipa. And then when Dua Lipa comes together out that ring, they all gonna get mad at Dua Lipa and never bring her out again and fuck around and destroy the rings. It's gonna be Lord of the Rings and shit. They gonna destroy it. They gonna destroy it. That's what bitches do. They hate any woman that's better than them. That'd be a good idea for a skit. Somebody should make a skit. I wouldn't even be mad if somebody made a skit out of that and it blew up. I'd just be like, yep, that's what I said. Like, if you get Diaz, well, there's not even a good part about Darcy. There's nothing Darcy could even add to that shit. Well, you get Diaz. Both these girls' names are Diaz, Maria. Amber Heard. was another one. You get Diaz, Amber Heard, Maria. I can't even think of dumbass because I don't hang around dumbass bitches. But you know what I mean? You get the point. You get Amber Heard, fucking Diaz and Maria, and they come together with their power rings and they all make Dua Lipa as Captain Planet. And then they all see and then they see Dua Lipa and then take her away and kill her and destroy the rings. AD, what are your true thoughts on stepdaddies? I think it's sad. I think it's sad for any man that's trying to be a stepdad. Okay, situations happen. I get that, but there's definitely a population of guys who are like they're if they were to be completely honest, they would only be a stepdad just because they're just like that desperate, and I think it's just really sad because it's telling women that men like that shit, and no man. Okay, some men can like. Okay, I remember like when I was younger, I did like I could see it as like admirable, like wow, like I have something to do. I have like I have a responsibility now, and it was cool to like envision myself with that responsibility of just taking in like a child under my wing kind of thing, right? But in reality, man, like no, like in reality, no man really wants to take care of another man's child for real. Yeah, not unless he can't have kids himself, something like that. But any and every stepfather on earth would if they had to be honest about it, they would say yeah because they really don't want to raise another person's child like that. And they end up just really putting up with it. Because let me tell you something, when you dealing with a child, see, it's all cool when a child's in a good mood, right? But when shit starts happening, like, yo, it be times you be struggling with your own child to make it through the day, let alone this motherfucker's not yours. Like, yo, if it's not yours, then you could peace out so much easier. When it's yours, you really can't do that. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I think stepfather, I think it's a sad I think it's a very sad situation for everybody involved. Because the kid knows, most cases the kid's gonna know that you're not the dad, that's not their father. And the dad's gotta pretend like he's gotta play this whole role of, yeah, I'm fighting the hard fight, and I'm gonna make it to be a good dad because I work at it every day, and he's got to play that whole role, and the kids know that that's not their dad, right? And the woman knows it, but the woman's trying to just play into his bullshit because she's gonna eat off of him, right? So she's trying to play that bullshit game of like, oh well, yeah, you're the biggest man that they've ever had in their life, and she's playing in this bullshit because she knows the truth. He's the man's trying to like fake it, like and trying to live up to some misplaced sense of self-righteousness that's just completely lost. And it's really just a real sad situation, man. And the thing is, like, it's just really a rough way to get out of that in any way, right? Because even if the stepfather leaves, well, part of it is true. Like, he's the only male. He's like a close male role model for the kid. So that sucks, and then you're always gonna miss the kid and all that shit like that. The kid will usually forget you within a month. But it's just that I think it's I think it's a really sad situation all the way around. I think it's just a sad situation filled with delusion and delusion, patheticness, if that is even a proper word. I think it's just all just it's just a really just sad, disgusting situation to find yourself in, whether you're the child or the father. I think it's just a sad because now that I have my own son now, dude, now that I have my own son now, like, I find it ultimately disgusting to even get with to get with another woman. Like, let's say if me and my spouse broke up for whatever reason, like, she could die, I don't know, right? But like, to invite another woman around him and like, no, just none of that fits. Just none, because there's just too much of a possibility it's not gonna work out, and you got to deal with all that. No, just no. Stepmothers or stepfathers, I just don't care for any of that unless the two parents have been hanging out for years and they've been cool for years, then invite them around. But if the two parents only been dating for like months or some shit like that, fuck no. That's gross. I just don't. I don't think I could roll like that. I know a guy who's a stepdad and the real dad gets out of jail soon for murder. Jesus Christ, man. Like, see, and all of that. So, like, usually it's going to be the guy who's going to be a stepdad and the mom's going to be the mom, right? See, like, the stepdad, especially if the guy had no kids before, right? And that man had his own peaceful life. He woke up when he felt like waking up. He went to sleep when he felt like going to sleep. If he wanted to spend money on groceries, and he spent money on groceries whenever he felt like it. If he didn't feel like going to the grocery store to buy no food, well, he would just sit there with a refrigerator filled with a stick of butter and some old bread and just eat pizza for the next week, right? That man had his own life, right? And then he gets with a fucking woman, right? The woman now the woman is her own problem, right? Then the woman has a child. So you got the woman who's a problem, you got the child who's a problem, then you got that problem quickly multiplies times 20 because now you have the woman that's a problem, you have the child that's a problem. Right? Now you got the child's feelings about the mother that's a problem. You got the mother's feelings about a child that's a problem. Then you got the mother's feeling about how you see her child that's a problem. You got the child's problem how their mother sees you as a problem. You have your problem and how you see both of them and how you think that they see you versus what they really see of you. The kid is now confused because they have a problem with how you see the mother and how the mother sees them. Like, it just, all of that just compounds a million in problems that dude just should have he never had to deal with from the start. The problem was the woman. Right. That problem just compounds. Because we've had to do exercises like this when I was studying to be a therapist, and they really put you through the realities of perspectives and these types of things, right? And just how quickly these dynamics raise and grow, right? So I have a relatively extensive history, really going through just doing exercises like this, of just how quickly these things just grow and grow and grow and grow when it's just two more people that come into a room. And now when you add in, what's her name, Diaz, she came there with 2 kids, right? And her crazy ass. And she said the dude had kids. Not worth it. Just not worth it. Not worth it. Not. When you could have been sitting up and sitting your boxers until 4 p.m. playing PlayStation all day in peace. But guess what? Now you can't because you took in some woman and her bastards. And now you got to be in a good mood because she wants you to be in a good mood. Because now if you're not if you're in a good mood, she's gonna not be in a good mood. And if she's not in a good mood, now the kids are not gonna be in a good mood. And if you lash out because she keeps doing stupid stuff, well now you're abusive because now she's not in a good mood, and now you're not getting in a good mood, and then the kids are in a good mood, and now you're getting in a worse mood because the kids are in a good mood and they're being bad, and now the mom's in a good mood, and now your mood's getting worse and their mood's getting worse. Now guess what? Drugs or medication. It's coming right down the line. Some way to escape the mental trap. Right? And that's the path. That's what happens. This is why especially women who have more than one child is a no-go. But if a woman has more than one child, consider that woman garbage. Period. It should be illegal for a woman who has more than one child. Really any single mother, but I'd be lenient. It should be illegal for a woman with any more than one child to ever get involved with any man who does not have children of his own. That should be a law. That should be illegal. From a psychological standpoint. That should be completely illegal. I'm 28, a black dude. I went to school. went to school with has become a stepdad. 2 red-haired ginger boys, a girl based on pics. They look 7 and 9. Mom's 30. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, that dude. All I can say is pray for him. Pray. Because they are driving. Okay, either he's just super bored and has nothing to do, and even that's gonna last so long, you know. But just no, no, no. It should be illegal for women to do that. For women to get with a man who has no kids and she has kids. That is the most disgusting thing on the planet. Is a woman with multiple kids. Same man, different man, doesn't matter. By the time it's reached that point, no. Now she could be good to hang out with, or like a fling or something like that, but not to take in any way, shape, or form serious. Absolutely not. Let's continue this video.
Pick up his jacket and hang it up.
He can pay someone to clean his house.
Oh, okay.
If they make that much money, he can hire someone to clean his house, clearly.
Okay. What do you think about the notion of submitting that we were talking about with Diaz earlier?
The submitting?
Yeah.
What is
Submitting to
that?
a man.
Like
Submitting to a man, like yielding to his leadership.
Like, do whatever he wants me to do?
Not whatever, like within reason.
No, let's
but,
just go there.
We're talking
No,
about
let's
yielding to
Let's
his.
just go there. Whatever he says.
Okay, let's go.
Start there.
Let's
Just
go
go
full
there.
retard then. Let's go
He
there.
is. Yeah. Whatever he says goes.
No. No, I feel like if I'm with a guy, I'm gonna be like obviously respect his like the way that he lives and whatever, but also like don't like stop being how I am, I did it for my ex-husband. He was Muslim, he was Arab, and I stopped doing things that I like just to accommodate my life to him because he
What
didn't
sorts of
drink,
things did you have to give up?
like alcohol, going out, eating pork, kind of things like that, just because no, he never asked me to do it, but I wanted to do it just to please him, right? To make him feel like, hey, I'm all in, right? Then I realized that
Go ahead.
nobody will do it for you. Like he didn't do it for me,
Mm.
So I feel like normally I used to like give and give and give and give, and I never received anything back. So now I don't. If you don't do anything for me, I will not do anything for you.
He didn't take care of you, pay the mortgage.
I was the man of the relationship.
Oh,
I
you
was
were
the
the
one.
man in the relationship,
I
too.
was.
Yeah. She did absolutely look, she did absolutely nothing wrong. She never got on his nerves. She never talked crazy. She never spent too much. Let her tell it. She never did anything wrong. It was all him. It was all him. She did. Diaz and Maria they never did anything wrong. Ever. It was always the man. He was abusive. Women who are usually the worst women on earth they love trigger words like that to get people on their side. Abusive. Because anything can be abusive, right? I could say, look, Walmart was abusive because they opened the doors just a little too slow when I wanted to walk through them, and I found that that's abusive to my perspective. Anything could be abusive, right? If you just say it's abusive, just say something's abusive. It's abusive, based off your philosophy. Whatever your philosophy is, anything could be abusive. The sun coming out could be abusive. Anything. Right? But yeah, neither one of these women did anything wrong. They've done nothing wrong. It was all the men's fault.
Pay his university at UT. I was the one changing the oil in the car. I was doing all the things. He was my kid. He was a 3-year-old.
And I've heard this story before because I told this story when I got divorced, right? I used to hear this saying a lot, and I witnessed it myself, how fast women will lie. Once they figure that the guy's done with them, women will come up with the most creative of just blatant lies, like for no reason at all. So as I've told a story a while back, when I got divorced, I told my ex-wife, because I had moved to Chescalipa. I left. I packed all my stuff in my car and got another flat and left, right? And I talked to her on the phone, and she said, yeah, like the divorce will be fast. We don't have to do anything, right? I was like, okay, cool. So we go to get divorced to the courtroom. Dude, we get in there, and she starts I'm talking like making up lies for no reason. She made up a lie saying that she had to pay all my bills, that I had no money, and all this, right? And I remember because the judge, it was a woman. I said, no, I'm not agreeing to anything until I come in with proof, with documented evidence that proves her wrong on all this, right? Because who knows who's going to dive into my past, and who knows for what reason somebody could dive into my past to see my records from anywhere, right? And it's going to be on my record that I had no money and I was living off this woman in Czech Republic, on top of other ridiculous shit. So for the money scenario, I went to the bank and got notarized bank statements of my bank account in Czech Republic, and it would show that I was giving her my part of the rent or the mortgage, right? Because we were in a house, right? I was giving her my part, and I remember when I went back to the courtroom and I showed them all these documented papers, the judge looked at it and then looked at her like, right. And I asked her like, why would you lie about that? Like, there was no reason to even bring that up. Like, I mean, to even say anything in that world of this. The judge literally asked nothing about any of this. You just start saying this shit for no reason, right? Women will come up with the most craziest of, once they figure that the man's done with them, they will say anything. Anything. There is no limits. The woman, so the saying I mentioned earlier, the woman you marry is not the woman you divorce, is completely true. And it's really sickening how quick they'll do it. How quick they'll just, it's like a light switch goes off, and it's like they just, like, they're truly animals, right? It's like they're truly an animal. Like, they're not human. They're just animals acting off of instinct. There is no logic, no human level logic there when this shit happens, right? How much you want to bet? If we talk to our ex-husband, he's gonna have a whole different story about this. How much you want to bet? If Maria's husband just popped in on the phone line, it would be a whole different story to come out. Bitches lie, dude, and they lie hard. You just can't believe, you can't trust them. You can't believe them. They lie so amazingly hard and well and quick. I've witnessed it many times. They will do it, right? And hope that you just talk yourself into either believing it, or hope that you talk yourself into just not wanting to fight or argue and just accept it. Whatever the fuck. This is what women will do. You can never ever trust a woman, dude. You just can't do it. You can't do it. Right? I got in a conversation with one woman, right, on Facebook about Louis C.K., right? Because motherfuckers got mad at Louis C.K. because he jacked off in front of a woman, right? And of course, like, there's always going to be a train of Marias out there who would just hop on anything negative about a man, right? Because if she's sitting up talking like all this about her ex-husband, she's one of them type of hoes, right? So, so my argument in the Louis C.K. situation was like, yo, like, Louis C.K. literally asked that bitch if she can come over so he can jack off in front of her. This grown ass woman. He asked her that. Right? And the woman said yes. And came over, buzzed, hit her way up. He lets her in, comes up there. She gets up there. He starts jacking on in front of the bitch. And the bitch goes, I think I'm uncomfortable, and leaves. And she left. Right? So where is the actual fucking, like, where is the legitimate crime in that? To cancel a whole dude's career. It's not there. Right? Now I can see if Louis C.K. went out and like snatched a bitch up on the street and was like, you gonna watch me jack off tonight, bitch, and didn't let her go. Then I'd be, yeah, fuck him up for that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't you take somebody against their will to do it. But he thoroughly made it clear, like, Do you agree to watch me masturbate in front of you? Yes. Okay, my address is 229 Eagle Street. Be here at 9:45 prompt. Okay. 9:40 comes along. Bzz. I'm here. Okay, I'll let you in. Bzz. The bitch goes upstairs, watches him jack, and then figures out, uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. And then she leaves. He didn't block the door from her. He didn't hold her in there against her will. Nothing like that, right? Let her go. So where on earth does this come off as a legitimate reason to cancel a whole dude's career? It's mine, but like again, see his bitches like Maria who will sit up and be like, yeah, he took advantage of his power, girl, and he used you. So yeah, because my ex-husband was the same way. He took advantage of me. Yeah, he did it to me. Yeah. You mean, see, this is why women just like you can't trust them, dude. You just can't trust them. Because I remember I watched a stand-up where Louis C.K. said, look, he said, when you ask somebody to do something, just make sure you ask them, you follow with, are you sure? I think it's completely unfair Louis C.K. got canceled. I think I've always been a fan of him, intermittently. Like I've always liked his gig, his shows. I think it's totally unfair that he got canceled. I think that was horrifically unfair that he got canceled. But yeah, let's go back to Maria. Just both of these women are done, but for two different reasons. Diaz getting ready to look like the Crypt Keeper in about 5 years, and Maria's getting ready to be big as a house in about 5. Maria is about a Chick-fil-A burger away from busting out her pants.
Son that I didn't ask for. That was he was.
Why did you marry him then?
You married him. What do you mean you didn't ask for him?
Because again, like now after going to therapy, after a while, I realized I married him for the pressure of belonging, or like to be the same level as all my friends, like my friends who were getting married and whatever. I wanted to be one of them. Like, hey, she got married, and achieve that goal of like I made it.
You didn't want a husband. You wanted a wedding.
Not even like, no, I wanted to be a wife.
She wanted to keep up with her friends.
Okay,
I wanted to be a wife.
You didn't want a husband, but you wanted to be a wife and you wanted a wedding, but you ended up in a situation where you're changing the oil and paying the bills.
Yeah, and I put myself, like before I got married, I knew all the things that
Why did you do this though? Like this tarnishes your reputation. Like this is a stain on your resume.
Oh no, I know. I was 22, so I was really young and I was stupid. So I didn't know any better.
What guidance did your father give you?
Huh?
What guidance did your father give you?
My dad didn't want me to. Nobody wanted me to marry him. But also,
but you went ahead and did it anyway.
I'm very stubborn. You told me no. I was like, why not? I'll change him. He will change for me.
Why don't you girls listen to your fathers?
Yeah, I still say like, why you didn't lock me in a room? We just
Is that what it takes? We got to put you in cuffs and lock you in a room?
Yeah. Because I knew, like,
that's generally what it takes for women to be in the best position they could be in life.
Knew who I was marrying, right? I knew the class of piece of shit he was.
So what was so special about him that you ignored the guidance of your family and who should be the most important
there
person?
was nothing
man
special.
In your life is your father. Like, why did you ignore all of this advice?
It was lack of self-love, like that need
lack of self-love. Didn't your dad ever tell you that he loved you?
No, my parents loved me. And everybody, like, I'm very loving my family.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I wasn't enough, right? And the fact, like, he never loved me, like, since we started dating, because he wasn't sure, never, that he wanted to be with me. Mm-hmm. So I put it like, he will love me eventually, and I will change him. So I was like, not thinking about me, And
you guys got married in Mexico City?
No, we got married here.
Oh, okay, in Florida.
I make him legal.
Oh, okay. So he got the citizenship too.
He's an ungrateful motherfucker.
You made him legal too. Wow.
I made him legal. He graduated. He studied. I didn't study anything because I was supporting my husband. I was paying to have a husband and I don't know.
How hot was this guy that you had to overlook all of this bullshit to marry him?
No, he wasn't hot.
And he wasn't even hot.
I mean, he was cute. He kind of looked like Aladdin because he's Middle Eastern,
like
obviously.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
With the getup and the carpet and everything. Really?
He has his carpet when he used to pray, and I was like, yeah, kind of, same thing. No, but the only thing I take from that relationship is I learn what I will tolerate in a guy and what I will not.
Yeah.
Because before I didn't know I didn't know how to put boundaries. I didn't know anything, right?
Let me ask you, ladies.
No, see that like like I said last night, man. Women love to try to imitate men in the sense of the control that they think they have. Let me say something. Her pussy is now calibrated to be treated like that. Maria's pussy is calibrated for that, right? Meaning, she could not go out there and, whatever Prince Charming dude that she thinks that she wants, her pussy don't want that. It doesn't want that. That dream in her head wants it, but her pussy don't want that. Right? This is another area that I think really needs to be spoke about in the manosphere, right? Is the concept of porn and porn and sexual fantasies and dreams and shit, right? Like I said, men grow out of this a lot earlier in life, right? Because when we grow up, we see some older, when we're 12 or 13, 14, we see some woman who's in her 20s that's drop dead gorgeous, big tits, nice ass, perfect hair and all this. And that's the dream that we want, right? Well, in the reality, there's literally no chance that a younger guy will get with a girl like that, right? Whereas on the flip side, women, when they're younger, they always kind of have that opportunity in some form to go get something like that, right? Right. But that kind of fucks them up. Okay. Women get fucked up by their sexual fantasies, like how men can be fucked up with porn, right? So what like I said earlier, the tides shift as we age, right? So let's say if a guy watches a lot of porn, right? Becomes just a complete porn addict. I'm talking every day for weeks, months, years. He just watches porn all the time, right? By the time he gets with a woman in real life, no woman is ever gonna be able to keep up with him and the fantasy of these beautiful porn bitches, in his head. Right? Even if he comes across a porn star in real life who's down to fuck and she's beautiful, the fact that see all that's mismatching, because when the porn addict was watching porn, he's watching the man in this position. He's watching porn by clicking when he feels like clicking, going to a whole different body type when he feels like, going to a different hair color when he feels like it, this and that, right? So when he's watching porn, he's not used to being stuck with one woman, outside of the perfectly orchestrated times, right? He's got to deal with this woman as a little bit more of a human in real life, right? So his dick is a good chance his dick is not going to work for that woman like it will for porn, right? Because his dick is now calibrated for porn, right? It's the same thing when women fuck bad boys and shit like that. See, let's take Maria, for example. Now that she's done, or that relationship's finished, she's older, I'm sure she's gained weight. She probably was skinnier back then. Maybe she was the same weight. But that's besides the point where I'm going with this. See, her pussy was calibrated for that man, right? So, of course, she'll have these dreams of these fantasies of like with Diaz. They'll have these dreams of these fantasies of hooking up with these of this fantasy of a man, But her pussy is not. Her pussy doesn't know what to do with that. Just like a dude who's a porn addict, his dick can't work for an actual porn star. Okay, there's a good chance he's gonna have a problem in real life with that, right? It's the same thing. The only difference is women have the ability to actually play out fantasy, like actual physical confrontations. Women have a far easier time in playing out the actual physical confrontation, much easier than men ever will. Right? That's the only difference. That's the only difference in the two. You give her a perfect man, she will not be happy. No, yeah, her pussy's not calibrated for that. Her pussy's calibrated for what she's already had. And just like Diaz's pussy is calibrated for what she's already had. Like last night when I put it in context of getting a job, like a brain surgeon, right? You own a hospital and you looking to hire a brain surgeon, and then here come Diaz and Maria with this resume saying what they've been flipping burgers at Burger King for the last 20 years, right? And you say, well, why you want to be a brain surgeon? And they go, oh, well, because I'm tired of all the games. I'm tired of all the games. I want to be a brain surgeon now. See, that brain surgeon was a fantasy in their head. They have no training at being a brain surgeon. It's nothing there that says they would even stand a chance at being a brain surgeon outside of the basic relativities. They know how to stand up. They know how to breathe. They know how to pick up a utensil. Right? But they don't have the inner workings and intelligence to keep work as a brain surgeon. Just like they don't have the intelligence and inner work. Well, maybe Maria. But more, okay, they don't have the inner workings to keep up with these fantasy men that they've created in their heads of the standards they have now. By the time a woman has standards, that's code name, she's going to be alone for a nice little while. When a woman says she has standards, that's the equivalent of a man saying, I only fuck 10. I only fuck 10s. That's the equivalent. That usually means for the majority of men, they're going to be alone for a long time. Right. And with the woman, it usually means the woman is going to be alone for a long time.
I was going to ask really quick because this came up and I didn't get a chance to ask it. But you mentioned that one of the things that you wanted to do that you weren't allowed to do was like go out and drink and party. Do you think it's appropriate for a woman that has a long-term boyfriend or a husband to be out drinking and partying?
I mean, if guys do it, like women can, right? And it's not like guys go out all the time with their friends, get fucked up all the time. Like, I think like the difference between
but it's a big difference though about when women go out versus when men go out.
I mean, when I say go party, it's just like go out one night with your friends, not like an every weekend thing, right?
But what's the purpose of it? Like when you go out, you're talking about going to bars and clubs and drinking, getting fucked up, or what?
No, like for me, it's just go have fun with my friends, like my girlfriends. We go for dinner
drinking and getting fucked up
and have few drinks, and that's about it. You
she
know,
means going to like the club and going dancing and stuff.
No.
That's exactly what she means.
I mean, I don't judge people who do it. It's just not my style.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I feel like guys do it too. You know.
Okay, so question for the ladies: What do you think of the notion, or what do you think of the idea of using a dating service or a dating app where your father has to approve the guy that you go out with? Would you go for that?
No. I don't even, that's not even in my repertoire of a relationship that he's not going to say yes or say no. It's not I mean, maybe when I was like 15 to 25, that might have been helpful, but I'm almost 40. No, it's not going to be a.
But I mean, you're almost 40 and single,
but you've
so
proven
it hasn't
that
really worked out for you.
Even at 30,
I don't have a problem with being single.
Bad decisions.
Wait, let's just pause. You just said I'm 40 and single, so it hasn't worked out for me.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with how I'm living my life right now. I am very much in a happy era, taking care of myself, growing, building my business, building my emotional growth.
So you're not interested in a relationship with a man?
You said something to her about something leadership, not submitting, but
Yielding to his leadership.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to find a leader that is attracted to me, who I am as a person, that I could yield to and turn down, like deregulate a little bit and let go of some of the control that I have to have on a daily basis.
She's missing. There's nothing about her that's likable. She wants somebody to like her as a person, right? There's nothing about her that's likable. If there was something about her that's likable, a man would have found her and found her likable by now, and would have definitely tried something with her. Some desperate, pathetic dude would have gave up something for her and her 3 kids, right? There's nothing about her that's likable outside of just meeting her in the back of a Hyundai Elantra. Right? Or she goes out somewhere, she has to wear something skinny, something tight, and just don't talk. There's nothing about her that's likable. History has proven it. Okay? History itself has proven it. I'm not saying it just to be mean. There's nothing about her that's likable. Okay, let's look at her past. What has she really done? Okay, she's worked on farms and sold vitamins. So you pretty much, it's pretty safe to say she has no education. And all she can talk about is all you see. Here's how you can usually figure out the women who've actually attained education or not. So like, usually all they can ever focus on is emotions, food, alcohol, and children, because these are just these are the 4 basic trends of just everyday humanity. There's nothing exotic about any of that. These are just things you're pretty much entitled to stumble into walking through life, right? Especially if you're just a skinny bitch who might start fucking. Like, you're going to attain all that. That there's nothing exotic. There is nothing about her that a motherfucker be like, oh wow, right? Nothing. Maybe the farm thing, because somebody just had an interest in farms. But for people who really know, this is nothing really, long lasting, interesting about that. There's nothing about her that's likable. If there was something about her life that was likable, she would have brought it up by now. Outside of trying to blame everybody else for her problems, and if there was something likable about her, she would have brought it up at this point. Anything about her life, right? There's nothing about her that's like, especially the more she keeps talking. There's nothing about her that's likable. Javi, exactly. If she was fulfilled, she wouldn't be on the pod. If she was fulfilled, she wouldn't be sitting around somewhere making social media accounts and getting on YouTube doing streams talking about dating. If she had as a woman, because listen, the women who actually go out there and have a life and do shit like that, they may make content for their life as a family, some shit like that. But more times than not, women who are genuinely fulfilled as women, they not doing shit like that. Them bitches don't even know how to make an online dating account, because they too busy in their real life.
I have no issue with that, but for you, I think
you'd have a very hard time with that, though.
If I need to find
But why is it contingent on another person? Why does it require a man in your life to be soft and to be more feminine and not to have this rough exterior edge?
I feel like I'm learning that daily, to be more in my softer era. Sometimes when you have to wear the pants in your household, or you've had to for years. I'm raising 3 kids on my own. I work, I do my thing. And it's hard to be just mom, or just the woman, or just that soft era, when you have to embody both on a daily basis. So I'm not against.
What do you mean by that? Embody both.
Yeah, embody both. Now I want to talk about this. I have a neighbor here, right? Now they broke up. It was a couple, right? The dude spoke English. He spoke really good English, but his girlfriend never spoke English. She only speaks Czech. She's a cute girl. She's like 30, right? When they were together, she was the most feminine, dainty, oops, and all that shit, right? When they broke up, and she still lives. I think she's going to move out soon, but I'm pretty sure she's still here because my girl, she said she talked to her like last week or something. When I seen the girl after they broke up, and this was like a few months after it happened, like all that daintiness went away, and now she's like, she wanted him, hey Tommy, get the fucking tray over here. Like she lost all that shit because she had to stand up for herself in the world, right? And she lost all that. It would be hard enough going to hook up with her in that position. Once women get older and on the independent shit, there's just so many reasons why richer men, when men have options, they're just going to go after younger women. There's just so many reasons why that's just going to be that's going to be the first initial thought of what will truly amplify a man's life. Okay, so let's take Diaz, what she just said. She's playing mommy and daddy, you know, in the household, right? And you want to go hook up with her and talk to her. Now, see, is it okay? Think about this. In reality, this woman is 40. She has 3 kids, and she sells vitamins to feed her family, right? As a man who has to fight the world as a man, do you really think that this woman, a 40-year-old woman with 3 kids who sells vitamins for a living, do you think that she is worth all the time and effort it would take to work through her rough exterior? Right? And not only work through the rough exterior while getting along with her 3 kids, who all have 3 different personalities on top of hers. Juggling all this shit. You juggling all this, and you still have your own life. You got a job, you got hobbies you want to do, and all this, right? So why on earth would a prince come and swoop up Diaz? That is a complete L with a capital L. With a capital E. That's an L with a capital E. That's a ELLLL. There's no, like I said, she's the better option, but both of them are equally as fucked up. I couldn't really recommend either one of them, but if I had to, I would recommend Maria, because from what she said, which I can tell, she probably doesn't have kids. I would guess she doesn't have kids by how she just is, and her age. But neither one of them I could really recommend. Think about that. Sales vibe. Like, what would you do? Okay, seriously, if you really went on a date with somebody, man or woman, right? If any woman's watching, right? If you actually went on a date with somebody and you ask, what do you do for a living? And they say, I sell vitamins. I sell vitamins online. That's what you just ran with? You leading with that? I sell vitamins online. I deserve somebody who's gonna be better than me and all. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, meanwhile, she's talking and shit to you and flirt with other men. Yeah. Leslie Porter, what's up, man? This chick has problems. Better hope a man wants her with all that attitude. Yeah. See, I would say, because, you know, she's 40 now. I could say I would say she probably just started hitting the wall over the last 5 years, right? Like her appearance just hit a point where there was just no coming back from it. I could tell she was probably never like the hottest girl, but she was a good looking girl who could fuck around and be a 9 if she went to like, I mean, like if she went to the right pool hall or the right bar somewhere and wore some right heels, she could fuck around and be a solid 8.5, in the right area kind of thing. But yeah, that wall has come in, and it's not gonna get better. Very rarely do women look better when they get older. It usually just keeps going down. Some women do look better as they age. Like I think it was Catherine Keener. She was one that was like, I'm pretty sure it was Catherine Keener. She was one that was like that. She got better looking the older she got. But yeah. She was used to like 5 years ago still passing for like 8 years younger and being able to talk wild and crazy and have dudes like lined up following her out, following her out of Applebee's, some shit like that, right? Following her out outside of Frickers or some shit. I mean, these little sports bars while she was the wait, because that's what she's probably a waitress and doing OnlyFans on the side, some shit like that. She's not selling vitamins and feeding 3 kids and living in Florida. All right, she's not doing that. That is not a lie, but it's not the whole truth. Okay, she's probably like working at Applebee's, some shit like that, and selling OnlyFans on the side. You mean doing some shit like that? That would add up to make more sense than selling vitamins. I just can't completely buy that. I'm not gonna say it's completely impossible, but as soon as you throw in kids, that's when I completely can't buy that shit at all. What's up, Javi? Oh, Scotty, what's Scotty say? Scotty size in? Hey, AustriaDick. What's up, man? Thanks for doing these kind of streams. I love them. Yo, man, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. If you were dating her, your piss would look like the Simpsons radioactive green. Yeah, yeah.
In what sense?
I have to have a masculine exterior sometimes to get through my day to day. Like it's not like a come save me situation. Nobody's feeling like stupid things, simple things. Like no one's taking, going to get my groceries, getting my dinner, filling my car up, getting the oil change, taking the car to get serviced. You know what I mean? Like, and I have to be dad to my kids as well. So it's not always, I don't always just get to be in my feminine stage.
Do your kids get to see their fathers?
No.
At all? They don't spend any time with them?
24/7 me.
What a catch.
You think that's a good idea?
Absent is better than toxic, 100%.
What a catch.
I agree.
Again, there's no good way out of that shit, dude. There's no good, like, as women age, there's no good way out of their there's very rarely a good explanation out, right? For you as a man coming into her life, very rarely. Because let's say so her kids, let's say the father's out of the picture, right? Well, the father's out of the picture. That means that if you come with her, you're next to be out the picture. If you have a kid with her, well, she's 40, so it's done now. But you get my point, right? But if the fathers are in the picture, when I got to deal with these other men who've came in her face, busted nuts down her throat, spit in her mouth, and you've been kissing her and all this shit, there's no good way out of it, man. This is again, there's just no good way to sell 40-year-old pussy. She done been ran through. I'll tell you my experiment. My experiments. Just so it hits harder to home. Let me make myself just so it hits harder. So people, I'm getting ready to bring up some different type of material. So bear with me so I don't get fuck around and get banned off YouTube and some shit like that. Bear with me. Let's go here. Okay. I'm trying to find a good one. I'm trying to find, well, fuck it, let's just do this one. Yeah, this is good right here. You can't even see anything. Can't even see it. She down here doing this, right? And she done did this. Look, she done this with 3 and 4, with at least 3 or 4 other men. She down on her knees just taking it, right? And here you coming in being like, oh, I hope I can make it work. And here you kissing this bitch in the face and all this shit. And oh, I'm trying to listen to your feelings, and I gotta work through your exterior, and because you're just all these fucking clowns and fucking Reddit and Facebook. You should care about women. And she out here doing this shit 2 times a week when she go out to the bar, behind the bar, and all types of crazy shit, man. Don't ever look. And they'll sit up there and tell all these stories while they all dressed up. Yes, and they out here doing this shit, dude. They out here either doing it or they want to do it, and they can't find somebody to do it to them. Pick one. At some point, they either out here doing this or they want somebody to do it, and they can't find a man. Like, remember the girl I covered a while back? She remember because she made a reply video and she called me a bully. I did like a 6-part episode on her. What was her name, like Black Raven or some shit like that? She said flat out in the whole fucking videos that she was dating nice guys, but she wanted guys to be rougher with her, and she couldn't find guys to do it because they kept being soft on her because she was just the cute girl in the neighborhood. So they didn't want to like take a chance and piss her off. So they kept coddling her. So she had to run off the facial abuse to get fucked right and to get treated right. Right? They out here, yeah. Now, I'm not saying just be flat out mean to a bitch. Like, I mean, I'm not saying be like a bad human. I'm not saying be like flat out mean to her. But as soon as you think about putting a woman on any kind of pedestal, just remember, look, they out here doing this shit, dude. They are out here doing this shit happily, knowing she's being recorded. Don't give a fuck. Because you know what? You know why? You know why she doesn't care? Because if you ask her, well, what are you gonna do when you get older and you need a man? Every woman knows the drill. Oh, I know what to do to keep a man. Just act like I got some sense. Be nice and don't tell him about this. Every woman knows the drill, dude. Every woman knows the drill. It's no secret, right? Now the problem is, Diaz and Maria, they done dived into the equivalent of porn addiction and fell in love with this fantasy in their head, and that's what's going to drive both of them to be alone for a good while, or be severely unhappy if they get with somebody. That the challenge for women is the fantasy. But yeah. Read his comments. Slurp that piss like Kool-Aid. Yeah. Yeah. I should drink that shit down. She put in a cup and just drink it. Wear a funnel to get that shit down. All right? That's what with them. I don't know. Mia Khalifa's, all them bitches go out there. They'll do that shit if they figure the right man wants it. They'll be out there guzzling down piss and having 3 dudes hoping to get a DM back from her. While she done drank her own puke. She would literally drink down puke and piss and spit in a fucking cup, dude. Knowing she got 3 dudes hoping that she gives them attention. Knowing full well 3 guys at her job stare at her all day long. So don't ever feel sorry for don't ever feel sorry, all that. No. You gotta wipe that shit out, man. Erase that shit. I'm trying to think the last time I actually had like just regular vanilla sex. Maybe if I was like just like really tired, just like I had just like regular vanilla sex. Like I never like I just love verbally abusing women while I'm fucking them. Like it genuinely makes my dick hard to just verbally abuse women. Like and women love it. They get turned on by it. Like I have not met a woman. Okay. Now let me correct myself. Some women may have not been ready for it the first time, right? Now, but every time I've gotten with a woman and actually made it to that point, there has not been one time the woman did not call me back and want to do it again. There has not been one time it's never happened. Never. Now, I will say this. Up front, like some women, they may have never had a guy slap them. They may have never had a guy like spit in their face yet. So they might be like, ooh, I don't know, and all that shit like that. And, you know, and the first time they might freak out. Like I told you guys a story about the first time I had a girl throw up on my dick. Like I was scared to death when I asked her. And when she did throw up, she completely panicked and like ran and jumped off the bed. And then she came back and finished me off. And I thought she was like done with me. And the next day, she texted me, want me to come over and do it again. Completely shocked me. I was not expecting that. And that was the start of my journey of being like, you know, of not holding back, you know, as much in sex, you know. Because before then, it was like I was always kind of like holding back. I was really self-conscious. I didn't want to like offend her or anything like that. But the weird part is like holding back like that really makes her feel more awkward because it's in a woman's duty to make sure you're being pleased and you're happy. So like the more like wild you get, like she knows you're being more happy. I mean, don't get like crazy wild like at the drop of a hat, but like you gotta work into it, right? So it's like it's in her nature to want to like feed you happiness, right? But yeah, I cannot think of one time where listen, because I have had vanilla sex, but it's usually like when I'm like tired or something like that, and I just don't really feel like doing a lot. But I can't think of one. I'm trying to think because it's had to have happened one time. I'm trying to think of with any woman who I've known, and like clearly like we had our contact information. I can't even. Cause I don't like one night stands with like complete strangers because I just like I feel like that is a lot of times like grounds for like super vanilla sex kind of thing because you really don't know each other at all when it's like a one night stand. I really don't care. I don't care for one night stands at all. Even when it came to like hookers, I would prefer like to see them again kind of thing if I liked them or if they if there was like some type of chemistry, but. But yeah, man, back to this shit. Like, back to this girl. These women they're both of them are officially in the era where it's gonna be a long time before they get with somebody. A long time. You just remind me of a G4 girl rant of women being objectified on the channel. Your reaction showing receipts was hilarious. Oh yeah, women love to be objectified, dude. It's just at some point, women love to be objective. I'm not gonna say all the time, 100%, because sometimes people just don't like to be, complimented or whatever. Sometimes people just don't like it for whatever the reason. So I'm not gonna say it's 100% all the time, but it's definitely something that has gained attention in the victim role, especially in modern times. And my theory as to why that's happened is because after modern feminism really took over, women completely lost their identity in being in the West and being able to be feminine. See, out here they can still be feminine and it's okay, but when you go to the West, it's almost as if like women like shame each other for being too feminine unless they're beautiful. Like only beautiful women in the West are allowed to truly be feminine and be comfortable and feminine in that, in the gender role sense, right? It's only reserved for beautiful women. If you're not beautiful, then it's like all the women will tear each other down, out of that, right? And it's really a weird formula how it became, because after feminism, that's coincidentally when baby formula took off, and when baby formula took off, that's when weight gain just pretty much skyrocketed since this pretty much from the 70s 80s, and it really took off like in the 90s when baby formula was just widespread. And so with that when obesity rates climbed, well, more women were just fat, so they're no longer beautiful, right? And that's when this whole Lizzo shit happened. Right? See, Lizzo, if Lizzo comes out and tries to walk around like Melania Trump and be feminine, motherfuckers gonna start roasting her for it because she's fat. And Lizzo knows it. So what does Lizzo now do? Now she has to pretend that she's rough and tough. Right? Because motherfuckers can roast Melania, and Melania Trump can still go, now you roast Lizzo, or you roast, some fat bitch, she gonna get right? She not gonna go, because she knows she gonna get roasted if she tries to be feminine. So she's got to get right? It's that thing, right? So yeah, the only ones that could be objectified are, but then see now, but then it's because then now with social media, the pretty, you got some pretty girls who are pretty, but they're going on social media, and then they're thinking they're not as pretty because they're comparing themselves to other girls on social media. It's just a whole big clusterfuck of fucked up shit, man. It really is. It's a big clusterfuck. I like punching them. Word up. I had a friend of mine. He liked cutting women. And he had girls who liked it too. Here's the thing. Whenever I met a dude who had a fetish, right? The only problem is if the guy can't communicate it to the women, right? Now I had a friend of mine. He liked to cut women. Because how I found out was I came over his flat, and he had an inflatable mattress. And on his inflatable mattress, he had like a bunch of toilet paper and paper towels and like stains, and like it was like a couple razor blades. And that's when he just told me, he's like, yeah, I like to cut women, right? And now I've never been into blood. I've never been into blood or cutting women, right? I've never, when it comes to punching a woman, for me, it's not. I mean, look, dude. Girls like all that shit. You just have to just talk to them about it, right? I'm not gonna say every woman likes to be cut or every woman likes to be punched, but there's definitely a lot of women out there who like it. Especially if you talk to them about it and introduce them to it, they'll start to get curious and then want to go off and do it, right? When it comes in, because here's the thing: basic vanilla sex to most women is extremely boring because they've been doing that from the get go. Every woman's had a ton of guys who wanted to have courteous sex with them, and it's boring to women, dude. Like, women are so bored with that shit. Like, that courteous sex of if the guy's wild, that he might grunt a little loud, kind of thing. Like, women hate that shit, dude. It's boring. Back massage means more than that, in my experiences and conversations. But yeah, he liked to cut women. I mean, I'm not like mad at him, as long as he's just doing it to women who are aware that, and are okay with it. Then I don't have an issue with it. Getting rejected by women like this pisses me off like nothing else. Yeah, and women reject for pretty much every other reason except the actual guy there. Men will reject. Women will reject men because they don't think that their friends would that the guy won't be cute to her girlfriends or something like that. For whatever reason, like, that's why women will reject men. it's very rarely because of the actual guy. Most women never really love another man. They love that the guy can treat them like shit, but most women never really love anything outside anything, and really anything. Women are not loving at all. Everything a woman does is based off maintaining her social status. They don't love anything else on earth. They don't love anything on earth. They don't know how to. They get a little attached, but they don't love anything. Their concept of love is, how do I maintain my social status so I can survive? I'm getting hungry, man. I'm getting hungry, and I'm gonna fix this game. So I'm gonna end it right here. It's 9:27. And it's a party. It's some loud music playing somewhere. But I'll take you guys out with a view of Prague. I gotta take this trash out. I got a bunch of diapers sitting outside. I've been too lazy to take out. But I'll let you guys go. Make the screen a little bigger. Let you guys go with Prague. Yeah. So yeah. I'll let y'all go, man. Have a good day, even night. I gotta eat something. I'll catch you on the Foot Flip, man. Peace out.